All right, just to confirm for my listeners who I got on the phone here, it is DJ/MC Elixah. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
You know what? It's a good thing I am because I almost called you, what is the Amazon thing? Alexa?
Alexa.
Yeah.
I
And
get that sometimes.
yeah, that's it's not spelled the same. I don't know why I would have called you that, but I know when I was about to say your name, that came into my head, and I was like, don't do that. So I'm glad I didn't. And all right, so before we get into some industry questions, I want to get to know you a little, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What was the last song that you were listening to before you and I spoke today?
You know what? It was like a song by the Mary Jane Girls, actually.
I'm not familiar with the Mary Jane Girls. Who are the Mary Jane Girls?
Like from the 70s, like a kind of Motown, funky kind of group. A group of ladies, actually. So, yeah, Motown stuff. That's what I was jamming on all day, actually.
Okay, well, that leads into a fun question. What's your favorite song to sing in the shower?
Pardon me?
What's your favorite song to sing while in the shower?
Man, it's got to be the Doobie Brothers. Would have Fool Believes.
Really, eh?
Oh, yeah. I love the Doobie Brothers.
See, for me, it's I don't even sing a song. It's an old, like, ode to regalia, and it's something we used to play in band class growing up. But I will belt the hell out of that thing when I'm in the shower.
Oh, yeah. It's great acoustics in there,
It is it not? If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
Flying, for sure.
Do you ever have dreams where you fly?
You know what? Yeah, I used to have this recurring dream where, like, I would, like, bend down slowly, but then I'd just start floating and just start flying. And, like, I remember as a kid, I was so pissed one time I woke up and tried to do it. It just wasn't happening. So, yeah.
And now I have a scar on my forehead from that.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell me what the first album you ever purchased with your own money was?
Oh, man, that's hard. I can't even remember, honestly. It might have been the Usher album, like, it might have been an Usher album or something like Jay-Z or Destiny's Child or something like that.
I love that Jay-Z gets thrown into the category of Destiny's Child and Usher because he's married to one of them. And
yeah, I guess I wasn't even really thinking about that, but to be honest, that was the lick, that was what I was listening to.
Oh, I hear you. And I'm sure that was on a lot of kids' mix CDs back in the late 90s. So, okay, let me ask you, do you remember the first concert you ever attended?
I think the first, like, legit concert that I can remember that I paid tickets for was, like, Virgin Fest in, like, 2005 or something. I saw a couple of really good acts there. I actually ended up meeting Chaos and stuff, too, which is kind of cool.
That's very cool. That must have been a very memorable... Do you have pictures and stuff from that experience?
I didn't have a camera or anything, so no, but I think somebody has, like, some disposable camera pictures, like, somewhere. I must.
You know what's funny? You bring up a disposable camera. I just came back from Rampage Festival, and there was somebody that was taking photos with a disposable camera. Like the whole click, click, click. And I was like, where did you even find that? But kudos to you. And I think they did it as a gimmick. I think they did it to have fun.
Oh, for sure. Come on now.
Right?
You're like the guy with the disposable camera now.
Right. You're that dude in the crowd. There were so many of those interesting folks around that concert hall. But all right, so let's dive into some industry ones. Going from your first concert, do you remember what your first rave experience was?
I used to go to, I'd say it was probably the Big Bop, honestly. I couldn't tell you the exact party it was, but I used to, search for these parties. I'd find, like, raves on Purerave, and, obviously I was a little bit younger. Like, couldn't really make it into, like, the 19 plus at the time, so I would go to the Big Bop a lot.
Well, no, and that's important. I bring up often that places like the Big Bop did throw all ages. I was one of the people that used to use it. And we've lost those venues, right? With the loss of venues, we've lost the kids. So
yeah, for sure.
And Purerave, that was definitely a board that catered to the youth raver. And, with Facebook, we somewhat have it, but I don't think it's the same.
I know. Yeah, I wasn't using Facebook at the time. I'd always find, like, the kind of underground parties on Purerave as well, so...
Well, and do you still go on your Purerave account?
I actually tried to log in. I forgot my password. It's different. I can't get in there.
Well, I
I
got
don't
into
think like I
mine.
got in.
They lost a lot of stuff. Like it must have been an incident where they lost a lot of their backup files or something because all my pictures were gone and a lot of my
Oh,
journal posts. Yeah, it sucked, but oh well, move on.
yeah.
All right, as someone who's wearing both hats, I guess, as a DJ and an MC, is there a preferred art? Do you like doing one more than the other?
I would definitely say like I am a DJ for sure. Like the MCing, like I do love to MC. You know, I kind of like started with that before I started spinning or anything. I was always like writing bars, whatever, in high school and whatnot. But my main platform is definitely DJing for sure.
Have you ever gotten into production?
I am actually kind of trying to dabble with that now. I'm kind of dipping my toes in and trying to learn that now for sure. I haven't really gotten very far with it, but you know, I'm just starting to seek help from some friends and whatnot to get me started on that track.
And who would you say inspired you to want to make music?
Um, you know what? I'm not going to say one specific person. I've always been a musical kind of person. Like I play instruments, and you know, I really love music. It's like probably one of like the most driving forces in my life. So like unfortunately, I couldn't say like a single person, but you know, just in general, it's always been a part of my life.
Did you grow up playing different instruments, or has jungle actually ignited the creation aspect in you?
I grew up playing multiple different instruments actually, like strings, steel pan. I played jazz band for a while too. Yeah, I shred a mean clarinet, man.
I thought steel pan. I'd like to hear you shred the steel pan.
Oh yeah. We used to go on little tours around with my school. It was actually a lot of fun.
It's yeah, very interesting, and I think it's important that a lot of artists in the jungle industry, especially successful ones, have a rudimentary understanding of music and theory before they even get into, you know, where you're at today. So it's nice to know that that is where you come from.
Yeah.
Okay, with someone who respects the art of lyricism, would you say that there's a difference between an MC and a rapper?
You know what? Like, it really depends on, like, I would say yes. It depends, though, on the person. Like, you've got some super, like, lyrical MCs, and then you've got, like, more host MCs who are just kind of trying to keep the crowd lively and are not necessarily, like, trying to give you a lot of content or whatever. But, you know, like, yeah, I'd say it's definitely a little bit different. Definitely.
Do you think a DJ must produce in order to gain success, or vice versa, that a producer must also spin to be successful in our industry?
That's actually a good question. Personally, I think that, like, for myself, I want to be able to do both. I know there's DJs that have, you know, reached their point of, like, that they're successful by just doing that. But I think that, like, I don't know, if you love music and you're a DJ, like, I feel like I would want to kind of at least try to do the production side of things. Not all producers I know are, like, the greatest DJs, but I think it's important to at least know, like, at least the fundamentals of, like, each, you know?
I could agree with you. I think that there's a great answer that comes from everyone, and I don't think anyone has the right or wrong one.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there's a synergy in some groups where you get DJs and producers working together, whether it's under the same name or under the same label or under the same group, and they work together, and that's important, is the unification.
Yeah.
All right, what would you say is the changes you've noticed from the day that you entered the scene to where we are today?
You know, definitely, like, I mean, naturally, like, the people who were going to parties when I started partying are, like, you know, they're all, like, kind of moving on with their lives. Not all of them are still actively going out. Like, you know, obviously everyone still appreciates the music, but the attendance thing, like, obviously the lack of venues has really taken a hit on, like, what parties people do choose to attend because they don't necessarily want to go to certain places or, like, you know, the like. But a lot of people just have families and stuff now and don't have drum and bass raves aren't on the top of their list anymore.
No, I agree with you. And I say
Yeah.
one of the things that's interesting when people talk about the revitalization or the spurt, I'm like, well, that's because the people who had kids, let's say 10 years ago, are now at a point where they're like, well, my kids are grown up, I can go back and party a little.
Yeah.
I'm like, so
Yeah.
don't get that wrong in thinking that we have new junglists, though. These are old people coming back. Maybe
No, yeah, for sure.
at the rate we're going, in about 50 years, we're going to be dead. So
Yeah.
we need a generation next. We need all ages. We need to cater to the next group of people. And at 21, to me, 19 plus, at 21, whatever, I'm like, by that time, kids have made up their decision with what they want to listen to. I'm not going to turn somebody onto a new music or a new subculture, if you will, at the age of 20. Yeah,
No, it's true, yeah.
you got to be 14, 13. I was 12, with the first.
Yeah.
So, and that's when you get addicted to this, and you're doing it 25 years later or whatever. So, I think we need to get back to all ages, and I'd like to see you spinning at an all ages party. And with that, I got to ask you, is there anything you have planned for 2019 that we can talk about?
Honestly, I'm just gonna try and work on getting my first international bookings. I'm trying to, play outside of Canada. That's my number one goal for this year. I don't have anything lined up out of the country as of right now, but I'm gonna get there. And yeah, that's pretty much my number one right now.
How are you going to get there? Tell me that. Is there a mix that we can listen to that I could promo when we release this?
I've got some stuff coming out in the near future. I'm going to get in the studio and record some stuff, so I will keep you posted on that one.
And I had heard something about, I know you did an NAGK video in the past. Are you going to be doing a part 2?
You know what? We've actually have one coming up for you guys soon. Yeah, Jared and I have done a new NAGK, so I'll be the first to do the second episode with him. So I'm really excited for that. It's going to be really good, actually. I'm excited to put that one out.
I'm excited to hear it because, the first one I really, really liked. And I will put the link to that below as well when this comes out.
Great.
All right, 2 more questions. These are just fun ones, so please have a lot of fun with them, okay?
All right.
If you could create a Mount Rushmore for jungle drum and bass, who would your 4 faces be?
Damn. I'm going to put Mickey Finn up there.
Okay.
I'm going to put X-Man up there. 4 faces. Who else? Damn. Oh, I love Nikki Black Market, too. And let's put Mompy Swift up there, too.
Those are 4 great faces.
Yeah.
And unique 4. I can't say anyone's ever done those 4 together. But okay, if you could put 5 items into a vault that would encapsulate our rave culture or our jungle community, what would the 5 items be?
Ooh. Jeez. Wow, that's hard. Let's put a camo crack hat in there.
I should have given you this one. I gotta. Here's the thing. I'll say to the listeners is that Elixah did ask if she could see the questions before, and I said no way in hell. And there's a huge disagreement. She was almost refusing to speak to me.
Oh man, I'm just blanking on that one. But
it's all good. I got to fill with some mindless banter. That's why I do what I just did. But
yeah.
You know what? And here's the thing. I'll tell you about the vault. It's so big that whole cities can go inside it. Like if you want to put London in there, it can fit in there. So it's just anything. Think of the aura of jungle, and what would you put in there?
Toronto jungle, or are you talking about the whole entire world?
Jungle, if you want. You don't have to just think of our rave culture. You can just think of the rave culture. Like for me, it was like horns and tapes and flyers and like.
Oh yeah.
But hey, you can't take my things. No, you can't be like, okay, yeah, I'll put everything you just put.
Jeez. I don't even know.
I like the camo crack hat because I'm wearing one right now, basically.
Yeah. How many? 1 or 2?
Hey, the listeners aren't going to know what you're talking about. I'm wearing 1 hat right now, and I was 3-hatting it by the end of the night. And the hat that I was wearing on the top is the one I'm wearing right now. So
Okay.
yes, that was. And for you, let me fill that in. We'll sidebar. You can keep listening, or sorry, listening. You can keep thinking about what you want to put in the vault, and I'll explain the story. I was traveling recently to Rampage, and I did not want my hats to get crushed in my carry-on. So, like a smart person, I chose to wear all my hats. And what looked like I was an idiot was actually really smart, and that's the irony of the incident. But yeah, I was getting some weird looks from people, and I would forget what was happening. Like it would not until someone would like tap their friend and point at me or something. I was like, oh yeah, I'm wearing two hats. So.
You know they sell like containers you can put your hats in, like a zip, like a carry-on. But,
Is it cheaper than wearing two hats? Is that cheaper?
No, you're way cooler. You're way cooler with your choices. Yeah, for sure.
I'm a thinker. No.
Yeah, definitely.
That means a thinker. Notice I'm also single, so.
You don't just share your hats with anyone.
That's it, man. But okay, back to the vault.
Okay, so yep, I'm gonna say, well, definitely, literally the country of England.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like England is super like, pretty much like a huge influence in jungle. Of course, like coming from Jamaican roots and stuff too. But the scene is just like kind of thriving in England.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put turntables in there because obviously that's just like the start of it all. I feel like turntables is super important. What else? I got 3 things so far. Damn. I'm stumped, man, honestly.
Alexia, you know what's going to happen tonight in bed? You're going to be thinking of this. You're going to have hundreds of things come to your mind.
I bet, honestly. It's been a long day, though.
That's it. And here, I will tell my listeners that Alexa did just get home from work, so she hasn't even unwound, and I'm putting her on the spot. So I will have mercy. When I go into a rave and I close my eyes, I think about the smell of the smoke machine and the piercing of the laser hitting my face without even having to open my eye to see it. The bass vibrating, the water bottle crushing, the sound of a horn going off, maybe a whistle in the background. I don't know. These are just the things. Like I say, I think of my favorite flyers. I think of my favorite mixtapes. I think of the big pants with the kids sucking on soothers and asking me to sign their books. People with furry clothing and white dress shirts for no reason, wearing gas masks, and white gloves with weird bands, and these are the things I think of. So with that, I will hold you to only 3 places or 3 pieces because I think I just rambled a bunch of nonsensical things. Well, sorry, totally sensical things, but random shit. That vault is pretty full right now. Is there one person, one junglist that you remember that you would put in the vault if you could?
Oh, wow. You know what? Like, there's just, like, this one guy. Like, I always used to see the parties. I haven't seen this guy for years. I do not know the guy's name. But he was just, like, it's like a picture of him. He's literally drum and bass, this kid. Like, he was at every single party. His friend sweating wouldn't stop. This guy would not take air. Like, he would never take a break. The guy was just, oh, man. You just know that one person. It's just like, nobody, I don't even know if this guy even speaks to anybody. He's just, like, so in it. The music, right?
Well, and knowing our culture, I hate to say it, but that guy could have been on something. Could have been on some fucking cocaine or MDMA or something. And he might not even... You said you haven't seen him in a while?
Oh, he's probably on lots of E's.
Maybe he's running a chemical withdrawal center for harm reduction. We don't know.
Hey, who knows?
I joke. All right, hey, I want to talk to you a little bit more, so please stay on the phone, but I'm going to sign off to the listeners, okay? All right, that was her, DJ/MC Elixah. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.